Is there a third option? To think it's either succeed or fail is ridiculous. There's always something else in the middle. Like, there's no, well, I did it or I didn't. Because if you try and you fail, you at least tried it. And for me, I think another driving thing, like you said about stuff you went through, I went through an experience.
It still hits, I don't miss it. Just go, 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 like a go-go flow. And I'm almost done. And I told you so when I throw these flows, like throw Shimbo. And I ain't too close to the Joe Smo goes. And I'm on my grind, that is all the time. I do not do breaks, that's right, I stay in dry. And look, I'm back with a little bit of that, a little more cash than it came in with. Ready, that cat is out that bad, but I still ask you, the boy got skills. I don't need her, I don't need him, I don't need help with me, I got this. I can sing songs, I can spit raps, and I can do both, even do this, word.
This episode is brought to you by Sweat Tent, the pioneers of the portable wood-burning sauna. Did you know that using the sauna 3 to 4 times per week could reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 50% and make you 60% less likely to experience Alzheimer's disease? That's why I've been a big fan of the sauna for years. But having to go to a crowded gym to do it isn't ideal. And all the at-home options are bulky and expensive. That's why I only use the Sweat Tent for my sauna needs. It's the most storable and affordable wood-burning sauna on the market. It not only takes minutes to set up, but it can reach 200 degrees Fahrenheit in 30 minutes or less. So whether you're enjoying it yourself in your backyard, with friends, or in need of a reliable sauna on the go, Sweat Tent is your best choice for the most portable, storable, and enjoyable outdoor sauna experience. All On The Stacks listeners will receive $100 off when you use code OTS. Visit sweattent.com today to get $100 off your purchase with code OTS at checkout. Again, that's sweattent.com to get $100 off with code OTS. Sweat Tent, helping you fire up your home wellness routine. This episode is brought to you by Wilkes Consulting, a Ramsey-preferred coaching firm. Are you drowning in debt? Is the weight of financial stress holding you back from living the life you were meant to live? Then it's time to break free and regain control of your financial future. Wilkes Consulting specializes in financial and debt consulting. Their team of 4 highly trained Ramsey Solutions advisors are ready to help you take charge of your money. Whether you're looking to get out of debt, pay off student loans, or simply need assistance on how to prepare to buy a home, Wilkes Consulting can help you fine-tune your budget and provide the resources and guidance you need to meet your goals. Don't let debt or the fear of finances control your life any longer. Head over to wilkesbarre.com and book a hassle-free, no-obligation call. Your first step towards financial freedom. Again, that's wilkesbarre.com, WILCOPA.com. Wilkes Consulting, making financial independence a reality. This episode is brought to you by Burn, the fitness company behind the Today Show approved Burn board. If I'm being honest, working out can be a real chore, especially as a new dad in desperate need of sleep and cardio. Burn is founded by NEPA native Jimmy T. Martin, and his Burn board offers a low-impact core and cardio experience unlike anything I've done before. They have hundreds of on-demand workouts that are great for beginners, seasoned athletes, and out-of-shape podcast hosts who love supporting small businesses. My wife and I use it pretty frequently throughout the week, and it's honestly a great way to burn a ton of calories without burning a ton of cash. Not to mention, it's a great tool for skiers, runners, wrestlers, and hockey players. Jimmy is offering all On The Stacks listeners 15% off when they use the code STACKS15. Visit theburn.com today to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15 at checkout. Again, that's theburn, THEBRRN.com to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15. It's time to get on board today with Burn. What's up, podcast? It's your host, Bill Corcoran Jr. here in the Blue Door Studio, brought to you by Sweat Tent. Lauren Gorney, welcome back to the On The Stacks podcast.
It's good to be back.
It's been a while.
3 years.
Has it been 3?
It has been 3 almost exactly to the day.
Wow. To the record day or to like the release day? Even though we don't really know what the release
record day.
Really?
The day we took photos or the day I posted it on socials. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Unplanned.
Totally.
By the way, I mean, you showed up. I mean, they're nice, but you look like you're about to go to the shooting range with your goggles on here.
You would be surprised. I've got a pretty good shot.
Do you?
I do.
Interesting.
I do. What is like a crack shot?
Is that what it's called?
Down in Nanticoke sometimes.
Okay, here we go. We're going down the Nanticoke rabbit hole. Here we go.
It's where it starts and ends, full circle always.
Shooting guns off your back porch.
That's how we learned responsibility and respect for it. Not off the back porch. Never off the back porch.
Okay, good Thank you for clarifying.
Sorry, I leapfrogged. I missed that whole thing.
You did. You skipped over it.
Out in the strippins, as they call them, the old mines. Because they're strip mining, old strip mining land. Ooh.
Strippins.
The strippins.
Not to be confused with strippers.
No, but No, none down there. No,
Okay.
just strip mining.
Okay.
But you go out there and it's where you like, shoot plates and cans or whatever. And that's how you learn. And I'm bing, bing.
Wow.
I wouldn't want to mess with it.
I wouldn't. Yeah. It sounds very serious. Yeah. That's what they do down in Nanticoke. I'm calling them they. You.
Us, my people.
Your peeps.
My friends, my community, my people. I love Nanticoke. I love Glen Lyon. We talked about that last time. I still love it. But now I'm in Nanticoke, so I love Nanticoke.
What's the difference?
Oh, Bill.
That's probably an insult. I hope Bob Kalinowski's listening too and he gets insulted.
He is probably, I don't know when he'll be back, but he's on the other side of the world. So hopefully he hears it. Or was on the other side.
Down under.
Yeah.
He's hanging with the kangaroos.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we're like, boom. I've been delightful. I will never go back, though.
Where?
To Australia.
Oh.
I guess I can't say never. That's pretty dramatic, but it's a big trip.
Yeah, that's, yeah. I mean, I guess I would go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you do 21 hours straight?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just to get there faster. I hate layovers. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't? Mm-hmm. Did you fly straight?
LA to Sydney was straight. So, got left over in LA.
Would you walk to LA from here? Or?
I did. I hitched a ride. Got on a train. I took a trolley.
Yeah.
Yeah, so travel. So anyway, he will let you know who the real, what the real difference
Bob
is
will.
between Nanticoke and Glen Lyon. But the fact of the matter is, it's because Newport is the best, and that's better, and that's where Glen Lyon is. So
That's better.
yeah, it just puts out some real quality entrepreneurs, and I mean,
Yeah.
And movie stars. There's a movie star. There's lots you don't know. I mean, I could go down a rabbit hole on that alone, but like, we put out some real talent from.
This could just, I think I'd actually rather just turn this episode into a solo show of you talking about Nanticoke.
I like threw my head back. I was like,
Yeah. Like, oh my God, what's happening right now?
It's like, yeah. Because it's all incorporated, right? So for me, like my community, my spirituality, my family, my work, my business, it's all, I see it as one for me. So it's just a part of like my whole story, but it's a part I really like because it's, providing opportunities for me, connecting me to my community. It's a really fulfilling life. I like it.
That almost got deep.
It could. This could go any direction at this point. I mean,
I don't know what to expect. It's been 3 years. In between then, like we've eaten some pierogi.
we have.
Not pierogies,
Correct.
just pierogi.
If you took one thing away, thank you.
You're welcome. I remember that from the last conversation. That was part of it, I think.
It's been an uphill battle.
I'm still saying NEPA'rogi. I've been practicing that.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I was coming in here today and I was thinking, because it's raining on this fine day, and I am also Irish and Italian. Irish, Italian, Polish. And
Why didn't you say Polish first?
well, because I'm the pierogi lady. So I'm the pierogi Don, the pierogi mafia. So, I'm assuming that'll be somewhere on this podcast, but a little lesser known fact. I love all of my ancestry. But I'm walking in and it's raining. My hair is getting curlier and frizzier.
On the way in here?
Yes, to come see you today. And I'm like, I just like in my head, my inner dialogue was like, that's the Irish in me. And I'm laughing. I'm like, I wonder if the Irish and Italian are bummed out with me that I went like full Polish. So maybe I have to find a way to incorporate them in my future. It's like a little teaser.
How are you going to do that? Oh, this is a teaser. That's right. You just said you can't tell what it is.
Fusion culture. Dumpling food.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't give away. I learned over the past 3 years, I'd get really excited about my idea. And I think being part of an entrepreneur is being very passionate. So I would get all fired up and I want to tell everybody. But like, not everybody's buying in and some people are actually not rooting for you. So I don't give away too much anymore. But I try not to be, drama about it. But I'd like to incorporate Italian or Irish food culture into what I do because that's another part of me.
Yeah. Would the people of Nanticoke be okay with that?
Heck yeah, they would.
Yeah?
I mean, I think it would fare better probably in Scranton and Pittston. There's an amazing Irish culture.
They embrace the pierogi.
Up the line. Well, I mean, imagine a fusion, an Irish pierogi, right? I don't know when, but St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to do something fun.
Ravioli.
For that. That's Irish, St. Patrick's Day.
Ravioli. Isn't that Italian?
It is.
Why'd you say Irish?
Well, because St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
Oh, right.
But I'm not going to sit here and say the Italian side hasn't crossed my mind. Like the creative part of the food, it's all up there.
Interesting.
It's always rolling around. I don't sleep.
You did say like you've been up for about 36 hours, right?
Oh man, I love a good nap. I love a good nap.
We don't get naps anymore.
No.
We took it for granted as kids.
Right?
I'm disappointed in myself. That's my only regret. If I had one regret, it'd be not taking more naps.
That's so interesting. It's so interesting because they say, like, at the end of your life, what are you going to say? Like, oh, I didn't take more risks. Honestly, me too. And for me, what I really mean is like that level of rest and peace and self-care and collect yourself and get your shit together.
Yep.
I was ready.
You're ready to drop the F-bomb.
Get your act together. You need that, man. You have to recharge.
I agree.
You can't go like a racehorse 365 days a year. 366 this year.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said that because I forget about those things.
It's a special day and you only get one every 4 years.
What are you going to do on the extra day?
I'm going to nap. Thank you for asking.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh my God. What day of the week is that?
I don't know.
It's like actually like right now.
It's a whole extra day.
2 days from now.
And how about it? Yeah. A whole extra day every 4 years. And I have to make a conscious effort not to spend it working. I have to enforce that.
It's difficult.
It is. Don't you feel? I mean,
I do.
Must.
I don't I don't just sit on the couch. Mm-hmm. I mean, I sit on the couch with a laptop.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Fielding messages and emails and getting ahead of your schedule and done your own to-do list.
There's always more than something to work on.
Yeah.
Like literally all the time.
All the time. And I think that's the when we were together 3 years ago, we were talking about gearing back up off of COVID. So it was like, how do I get back in the saddle? And I remember at that time I said, I wanted to get away from the rat race. I loved I loved the time, the quiet time, but I'm right back in it, man. It's so hard you have to make a conscious effort to stop, breathe. But in the long run, it makes you a more effective leader, a more effective business owner.
So what do you do?
A big sigh, right? You hear that?
That's it right there.
I am not a professional on anything, but
good disclaimer.
Somatic, oh my gosh, somatic work with your body, listening to your body. Like a lot of times we think like, oh, I feel anxious. There are so many signs for me before I actually get anxious that I just choose to blow through. Like it's like a highway with the construction horses, I'm like,
you're just running them all down.
Yeah, it's like, no, we told you to stop and you didn't. So now
like red cone, or orange cone, orange cone, orange.
Boom,
yeah,
boom.
Yeah.
So So what do I do? Oh, I burn out.
Yeah.
I go to counseling every week. I love therapy. For me, I like to talk. I process by talking. Some people journal. Some people, get active. Me, I just dump it all out and I move on with my week. I don't know where it'd be without the work and it's not just my therapist. It's a lot of the work is what you do when you leave. Like you could learn all this great stuff, but it's like, do you apply it? Are you using it? Are you getting better? Are you staying stagnant? Are you making excuses, staying in your own way? All the reasons it's too hard to change. Then be anxious. Then stay anxious.
Yeah. So when you see the signs, like the warning signs coming along, what do you do?
I mean, that's step one, really. Just seeing them come along, the mindfulness, right? Being more aware of when something doesn't feel right, like making a business decision, or I feel like I don't have an answer. Pause is a big one I'm working on. It's
pause.
So counterintuitive though, because I'm like, I got to get as much done as I can get done because I only have this many hours. And if I would have just stopped and collected my thoughts and went with strategy, and that's been so helpful to me to just sit down and do a strategy, like artistically. I get so I'm trying to get the biggest amount of paper I can, and the cheapest would be wrapping paper. And I put it on my wall. And like once or twice a year, I just get a Sharpie and go wild and dump my brain onto that.
Just what is it, like ideas, goals, like
all of it, whatever comes
thoughts?
out. It's all of it.
Is this like a private thing?
It's
like you do on your own or like with your team?
I do that for me. I do it for me when my head is going as fast as my day and I'm like, got to put this somewhere. So I've done dream boards before. I've done vision boards, all that. I'm like, I don't have the time to cut out stuff. I don't have the time to search for fun stuff. And one day it got me. It was like burnout. It was like, if you don't dump this out, you're just going to go take a big old nap for like a week.
Yeah.
And I ran upstairs and like the biggest paper I've got, and I did short-term goals, long-term goals, this year's goals, creative ideas, words, themes, trends. And when I stood back, I felt like I was looking at a snapshot inside my brain, like the map, like if my brain could have a map. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to sleep so good tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I was just thinking, obviously, I got the the new wall out there, the chalkboard wall. I'm like, I haven't used it really a lot yet, and I should be using it more.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's like, I'm going to go out, after this, I feel like I'm going to go out there, and that could be like my thing out there.
It's a good spot.
It's
a good spot. It has to be accessible. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to make, this vision board, and I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to put it like away. It needs to be accessible for me, and it needs to be something that you can modify. Like, I'm not going to stare at my vision board and be like, well, that was last year, so I'm not going to add this.
Yeah.
Get in your own way. But yeah, it's been really helpful for me. And, big changes in my life, grew the business since last time we talked.
Yeah.
And I like to incorporate things like the chalk wall. Like, I love that interactive, because that's how people really think, right? That's how we get stuff really done. To say like, oh, you can't draw on the wall. I don't know. I try to encourage it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that stuff too. I think like for me, like for like the longest time, I always felt like, oh, like I'm not like a creative person. And everyone's like, oh no, like you are really creative. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And like, I still like kind of think that sometimes, but I think a lot of these types of things, right, in a business setting, maybe aren't as common, like this type of stuff, right? And, and like now, like incorporating some of this stuff, like it's just, I don't know, it just has a good feeling to it. It's just like a feel good thing.
Yeah. I think because I think the way we came up and we make our own, we're building our own businesses from nothing, right? From like a scratch, you're just building your vision. There's no one saying you can't incorporate anything and everything you want to. Yeah. I keep my report card from kindergarten on my desk. It was a really good report card.
Mine would be a bad one.
Was it?
Yeah, probably.
Well, maybe find one that encourages you, because that one I was like, I was a little rock star. Like, she rocked. And I keep it there because I incorporate things that I see now in schools. I see stuff and I'm like, I want that. I used to joke like the Google style stuff. I want a nap pod and all this, but I did at our business. I put all that in. It's so inclusive, and like it encourages employees, in my case, to just want to stay. Like, they're not like, hurry up and get out of here. They make it comfortable. They get fully involved. They have their passion. They have their space. It's fun. You
know what should be like on, like, like on report cards, it's always either academic related, I feel like, or but there's maybe like a good attitude section or something. I'm just thinking back to when we were kids, right? But then there's also a lot of negative, like bad stuff, right? Mine were usually pretty bad, whatever. But I think some of the things that should be on there is like things like has a good sense of humor.
I love that.
Or is a good storyteller.
Yeah.
Like those things are like important, and to like acknowledge, like I'll say like maybe call those traits, or I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I just think there's so much in education that's like so outdated. I mean, again, I could be wrong. There could be, this stuff could be a lot different nowadays than when like we were in school. But I don't know. I just think in school, like everything's just too black and white.
Yeah.
At least that's how it was. Like I said, when we grew up, and I think because of that, it shaped a lot of people in like in a way that like they couldn't probably ever see their full potential as a child, or even and then grew up their whole life and still don't know or can't see their full potential because everything, I feel like, in school growing up is just inside this little box, and you can't do anything outside the box. And I don't know. It wasn't built for me or you.
I agree. It's the rubric, right? Fitting into the boxes that were designed for you. And one thing about me in the last 3 years is I definitely got a little more tinfoil hatty. The reason is because I had tinfoil.
I forgot to put mine on.
Did you? You don't have it?
Yeah.
I feel like years ago, there were things I noticed about the bigger picture of like humanity, the globe, even my own community, that I was like, that's sus. Now I know that the word's sus.
Like what?
Just not agreeing with the way things worked, and kind of like rallying against the system, wanting to be this change. And I learned the hard way, like going up against it, not to fight City Hall. That's not the way.
It's not?
No, you have to like Trojan horse it. You gotta.
Oh,
like,
I see. Okay.
Look over here. What's the sand doing?
Yep.
Because nobody wants the instant response of defensiveness. Like even though it's a new good idea, if somebody's not feeling it and they get like instantly defensive, you're not going to be able to plead your case. So I started, to your point on education, I agree. I was not part of the box. I'm not built for the box. Somehow I made my way through with like, techniques you learn, overachieving, getting that validation. So I became a teacher now.
Yeah, congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. I'm teaching adjunct at Luzerne County Community College. Very proud to teach. I'm an alumna of that of that college as well. But yeah, I agree. And for me, there's been no greater progress, to your point, than being on the ground in the classroom with them and like hearing firsthand. Universities, colleges have a diverse population these days. That was part of my former life. So I feel like, I can lend some experience to the fact that it's a very diverse population. The age, it's not just all 18. It's not all certain things. All sorts of different people are going, not just for degrees, but like certificate programs and trades programs. So I never pictured myself as an educator. I very much have imposter syndrome on that. I was like, actually,
Me? Yeah, teacher?
The course came out and I had said, I think I might want to like brush up and take a business 101. And Frank, my fiance, said to me, you really could teach that. And it wasn't until he put that beautiful suggestion in my mind that I took the step and I tried it. I reached out and I got a really positive response, and I was just myself. And they're like, yeah, that'd be great. So instead of going to brush up on it, I'm teaching principles of marketing, but in the business department.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the world works sometimes, isn't it?
It is. It is. Oh, right. Diverse population. Right. So I did end up, my first class is all alpha. So that's after us. So we're millennials. I'm 34. You 34? 35?
35.
35. You turned, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you forgot to wish me happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. And happy birthday for next year too, because I will inevitably forget unless it's in my phone.
Yeah, so just, 1 year in advance. Thank you.
Rain check.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got, it's almost all alpha, and it's awesome. It's so awesome. I feel like they get a bad rap, but I think our biggest allies in economy and lifestyle for millennials, our biggest ally will be Gen Alpha. I think we're kindred spirits. I think they recognize the hustle, and I think they respect it because they're seeing, wait, do I have this wrong? I'm so sorry. My class is Gen Z. They are going to be like, you jacked this up.
Oh, you mean, your class of
the class I'm teaching.
Okay.
So we're millennials.
Yes.
My class is like 18, 19, 20, 21 year olds.
Okay.
With a few others, like other ages.
Yep.
However, that's Gen Z. I'm sorry. Yes. Gen Alpha is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That is Gen Z and millennials saying, yeah, Alpha scares the hell out of me. I don't know how to lead them. I don't even know how to talk to them. So I'm aligning with Gen Z because they respect the hustle of the millennial.
But Gen Alpha is
terrifying.
They're out there somewhere.
I want to love them. I don't want to write them off. I don't want to put anybody in a box and write them off. In my experience,
I'm trying to look them up. I'm over here on my phone.
They're like 10.
Everyone probably thinks I'm ignoring you.
They're like
right
10
now, being so rude.
They're like 10, 15. They're so smart. They're so smart. They're so well spoken. They're so go-getter. I just don't know. There's like no containment device.
Values connectivity, not just in the digital sense, but also in the human sense.
Yeah.
It's the top 5 Gen Alpha characteristics every marketer should know. I'm going to click on it.
Come on, tell me.
However,
I need it. Maybe I'll teach this in class. You could be a guest teacher.
I'll send you the link to. Could I?
Yeah, I would love
I don't really want to teach anything. I'll probably just come up there and just ramble about nonsense.
Yeah, that's the
I think
best.
somebody will get something from it.
Experiential
Yes.
sharing is very impactful.
I'm there. You tell me when I'm there. All right, number 1. I'll send you this link too.
I'm writing this down.
You know what you're gonna do? I already know. I mean, you probably already thought of this, but I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna take this episode and you're gonna make your students watch it so we can boost my numbers up. Okay. By the way, Lauren, Professor Lauren, whatever she goes by, she's gonna be giving everybody lots of extra credit as long as you watch this episode, and you have to drop a comment here on YouTube to let us know that you watched it and something. 3 things you learned from this episode.
I love that.
What do you think?
If it's
I'm
out
like,
before the end of the-
telling you what to do, right? I'm like telling you like how to do your job basically. And like, I'm just like inserting myself into your class and offering extra credit to these kids.
I love it. I think they'd
Is
be
that okay?
inspired. Yes,
Good.
I think that's a wonderful
right.
idea. I'm not I teach from the textbook, but like all of my assignments are like this. Like I
Yeah.
actually had them already listen to a podcast. So it's not out of the realm of
Okay.
possibility.
All right.
Because you have to teach in the tone that life is going.
Yes.
They need to
Like
learn how
real
to
time.
podcast.
Yeah. Not something that like you did 20 years ago that's like outdated.
Right,
Like, this
like-
is like right now.
Like pasting a newspaper on a board.
Yeah.
I mean, been there one time.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Top
all right.
5.
Here we go. Top 5. Ready?
This is alpha.
Write this down. Okay. Breaking down Gen Alpha characteristics. Here's a quick table summary. So I'm a horrible reader. Here's a quick table summarizing the top 5 characteristics of Gen Alpha.
In no particular order.
Well, I think I might be skipping the chart. Hold on. Because there was the top. Hold on. I got to go back. I got confused. The top 5 Gen Alpha characteristics every marketer should know. I'm skipping to that section.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going. Okay. No, I was right. Here we go. Technology and connectivity. I think I'm reading them in the order that they're listed, but they're not numbered. So
Yeah.
I don't think. Independence and awareness.
That I see.
Okay. Number 3, even though they're not numbered. Learning and education.
Oh,
Number 4, diverse and global.
I see that.
And number 5, realistic and practical.
That's an interesting observation.
Oh, I see what this. Okay, then when you scroll down this website, then it breaks each one down. Like there's 4 or 5 paragraphs.
What was the fifth one?
Realistic and practical.
Well, they call it like they see it, and that part I do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, they got guts, man.
I'm going to send this link right now so I don't forget, because I
love
will
it.
forget.
No, please do.
I'm so glad to be part of your class right now.
This is excellent. They will be thrilled. Hi, class. This is business or principles of marketing class 201. Got to give a shout out to my chair, Gary Merzinski. He's the chair of the business department. And people say like, oh, like, how do you do it? How do you become a this? How do you become a that? I don't know. I just do things. Shot him an email and was like, hey, introduce that I'm an alumna. Ooh, and I keep
You're
doing
right,
that.
okay? You okay? You all right?
I talk. That's the Italian talk.
Yeah.
Just like feeling it out, and what's meant for you, I do believe finds you. And I want to thank him for the opportunity, because who knows where this will go. I had President Leary, president of LCC, come visit the pierogi shop. He came for a tour this week.
I saw that.
Yeah, and he came into my office. So I'm into like as I would like to call it, like the woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, what's the woo-woo?
Synchronicity, the full circle, no coincidences.
I'm into that now.
To some degree, you just have to be like, it's too. There's too much for things to be coincidence.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
No,
There isn't.
no.
It's like it's impossible. I'm bad. I'm very bad at math and statistics, so I'm not even gonna try to figure it out or even look it up. But it's impossible. It's basically impossible. The odds are almost impossible. So that's why there is no coincidence.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. It's actually there is more quantifiable evidence that it could not be a coincidence.
Yes.
Than to be a coincidence.
Agreed.
Well, so he came and visited, thought it was lovely, got the alumni story, my parents, etc. They're alum. We have students working there. We have early college students from high school that are going to LCC, and they're working there too. It's just very cool stuff. Very good vibes. And what I haven't really shared is where we moved our business. We moved our pierogi shop to a place that I had interned at when I was at LCC. It was formerly a state representative's office. And I was an intern there while I was LCC. And I showed President Leary, like, this is where I sat. And then I took him to my office and I was like, and the gentleman who will now become the president of LCC, that was his office and I'm there. So I'm standing there with President Leary, who will be retiring this year, his team, my family, we're talking, we're doing photos. And I just look right at him and I was like, so if I got from that seat to this seat, how do I one day sit in your seat? And he was like, whoa.
Threats. Fire.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Well, he's retiring.
Oh, okay.
So
but still.
But I was like, right? Because that's what people ask me. How do you?
I get that all the time too.
How? I don't know.
I that's my answer too. I said I don't know. I just do it.
I just do it. I ask brave questions. Some people, he could have turned around and been like, what? But he responded great.
Yeah.
It's like, go for it. Just keep doing this. But that's when people ask me, that's my answer. I just get up and put one foot forward. Like I just make a little progress daily. And I write things on a wall or on a wrapping paper wall. Yeah.
And not, again, not saying that you don't have a strategy or just doing things blind, but just doing. I think that's like the biggest thing. Everybody, listen, like I love a good idea. Everybody, who doesn't love a good idea, right? But there's nothing I despise more than people with ideas who don't do anything about it. And don't come to me with an idea if you're not willing to execute on it. That drives me nuts.
No, I agree.
And, again, because the world is full of ideas. Everybody's got them. And it's just, and there's very few that actually will take that idea and actually execute and be successful. And yeah, it's one of those things. Like I said, I get people throwing ideas at me like every day.
Yeah. Is it
every
like
day.
what you like, oh, you know what?
Hey, like you should do this. Hey, you should try that. Hey, hey, why don't you start this? Hey, why don't you do that? I'm like, why don't you try it?
Yes.
And they're like, oh, no. I was just giving you an idea. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I appreciate the idea.
Yeah.
But like, and again, like, and just everything in general, not even just me or just, about my business or anything. But again, like it's, again, I could sit here, we could literally sit here right now and I could talk to you for hours just about ideas and shit that I want to do or like things that I think would be cool for you to do or, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it really comes down to just executing. And the first step literally is just taking, as silly as it sounds, just taking the first step and actually doing it. Like not sitting in a room, keep talking about ideas or having meetings about the ideas. Just go do the damn idea. Just go do the thing and you'll figure it out along the way.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And like back to how you said, like, when people ask me like how, because I get that question all the time too. Like, how do you do it? How do you do it all? And I usually say, I don't know. I just do it. And people are like, well, like, huh? Like, how do you have all the time for it? I make the time. I just make the time.
Yep.
They're like, oh, you're so busy. I'm like, okay, everybody's busy. I also hate that word, but I use it all the time too.
I know.
I do use it. We all do. But like, it is just a matter of like, is it a priority?
There it is.
And if it is, you'll do it. If it's not, you're busy.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Priority. There it is. That is the key. That is one of the main keys to my success is knowing what to put where and what to just drop.
And is it going to make money?
Is it going to, I know.
And and I don't mean that in a way, because I know a lot of people like at first, so I want to clarify that statement. Like a lot of people are like, oh, like, what do you, oh, you're just after money. Like, no. It's like, again, I'm going back to the idea thing. Ideas are great, but do they make money? If they don't make money, well, then maybe you just don't do it, or maybe it's a hobby of something you do, whatever, right? But yeah, it's just doing.
It is.
It's just doing it. And again, like I said, not that it has to make money. Not that any idea. And again, if we're not even talking about business, if you want to just talk about whatever, you don't have to make money from everything. No. But you and I and other entrepreneurs, that's what we do. And again, I keep saying this, probably like, enough about the money thing. It's not that like the money isn't like, we're not doing all this for the money. Right. I think we're all doing it, I feel like, for the journey.
The journey, right?
For sure. The journey.
And the friends you make along the way.
Yeah.
A little tune, a little ditty.
And the podcasts like this.
But it is. It's the bigger picture. It's not just, you're not trading time for dollars.
Right. Yeah. And for, as an entrepreneur, of course, we think about money because it's, we're building a business, and that's what business is, by the way, people. This, we're not running nonprofits. I mean, but nonprofits actually make more money than for profits. So maybe we should go into the nonprofit world. There's more profit in nonprofits.
We could find a cause. I would be happy to help. Yes.
Yeah.
We could. We should talk about that.
We should. Yeah.
Another idea that we don't need another idea.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at us. Here we're talking. We're so contradictory. I was like, you guys are frauds.
That's the beauty of entrepreneurship. Like that's how it works. Like you have to allow that like shadowy. I've been working a lot calling it like the shadow and the light, and like the shadowy side is taking on too much, but also it like it propels me. When I get an idea and I name it, or I get brand colors, or I start a logo, I have to do it now because I started.
You have to.
So I have to manage that shadow side, because I'd start like 4 nonprofit. I'd leave here and I'd be like, Bill, listen, you know what I was thinking that we both,
I know.
we're both passionate about.
The same way. I'm already drawing it up.
Yeah. In the brain. I know. And to circle back on that, like just do it, like just take the first step. that's way easier said than done. And I want to share, I've always talked about the impact of mental health in my life. I know there's a lot of hot topics in mental health out there right now, but getting certifiably diagnosed with ADHD for me explained a lot about it. I think people think the perception is that I'm like the Energizer bunny from the outside. I do only show that bright light side, right? I talk about this everywhere I go. Like, nothing is as it seems. There is a reality side to everything. But it doesn't mean it's like negative per se. It just balances out. But yeah, the ADHD, I actually have found it's super hard for me to just get started some days. And I look at it like this. I'm living an unbalanced life being an entrepreneur. I'm giving my blood, sweat, tears, time, money. I haven't hit the tipping point yet. I'm almost there, 3 years in the making, but I've made decisions to make my business sound and financially solid, and I'm glad. I worked multiple jobs. That's also the reality. In my case, being an entrepreneur, there's no light switch. It's not like, today I'm an entrepreneur. Like, you got to build that. But I digress. I do have a very hard time starting every day, and living that unbalanced life, I have to find that balance somewhere. So in figuring out the ADHD and knowing that, as I've heard from professionals, girls aren't diagnosed the same way or age as boys, because in my case, some women internalize the energy. So the energy you see little boys in kindergarten bounce all over. He doesn't sit, he doesn't talk. It's like a girl will know she got the good grades and she was always going and all that. And she's riddled with just nonstop mind all the time. So in my mind, I was the little kid bouncing around, but my report card from kindergarten said I was aces. So how it presents in a woman versus how it presents in a man, and when it presents in life, was like shocking to me. I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I refused support for it for a whole year. I actually said, like, and it's been in the past 2 years. I was like, nah, I can solve this. I don't need any support.
I don't need your help.
Yeah, I know what's wrong.
Professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now I know what's wrong. So I just won't do that. I just won't burn out.
Yeah. Do you like when you're talking about like the balance or unbalance, like part of your life, and getting up and sometimes not being able to like perform or get to it? Like, do you have to like live on like a certain schedule? Are you that type of person where like you need the schedule? If something goes sideways in your schedule, your whole day's ruined?
Yes and no. I'm trying to be a schedule girly. I'm trying to get, like, I have the best intentions. I have my,
like, I live and die by my calendar. That's one thing I tell everybody. I said, listen, if it's not on the calendar, if you don't send me a calendar invite, and by the way, it's 2024. If you do not know how to use, and this isn't you, this is me speaking to the public or anyone. If you do not know how to send a calendar invite, goodbye.
I'm done. Or convert a PDF. Those two. Leave me alone.
Yeah, because listen, if it's not on the calendar, I will not be there.
No, unfortunately.
I just won't be there. Even personal stuff. Mm-hmm. If it's not on the calendar, I just won't be. And it's not like it's not like, oh, I don't like you, I'm not showing up. It's just it's not on my calendar, so I have to live by that. Like
1,000,000%.
Schedule.
And notifications necessary.
Yes, 3 or 4 plus an email.
Plus I'll do a day before.
Yes.
And if it's big, I'll do a week before and a day before. Because tonight I need to be sleeping on what's going on. I honestly would like even 48 hours notice. Like, I would like a 2-day pre-notice. My problem is putting it into the calendar. It's like a text, like, oh, be here. I've got to tell you, when you sent me a calendar invite for this, that is
you just accepted it yesterday.
I know. And look, I was going to show you.
But I knew you were coming. I knew you were coming.
So I have like a bunch of unanswered ones, right?
Okay.
I have
so you're the color coded too.
I love.
We're like the same.
Love
like
the colors.
The same
it's
person.
aesthetically pleasing.
We're like the same person.
It is. It's really interesting.
You have more colors than me though.
Well, you got to differentiate a little, because at this I'm like, oh, the pierogi place is taking up my life. Oh, this is taking up my life. Like, at a glance.
Like, you just know by color what it is. The activities are. So do I.
Yeah, the brain just, I need that. But anyway, I forget to put the stuff in. So I just have to tell you, one of my love languages is sending me the calendar invite instead of telling me about it.
Yes.
There's nothing more relieving, because it's one more thing off my plate.
Yes. I'm the same way. It's like, again, I don't want to use the word busy, because we all hate that word. But there's a lot of things going on in our days, and everyone's days, right? And it's, again, like you said, it's one less thing to think about. And if it's on the calendar, it's like, okay, good. and just I look at the calendar and I just know what I need to do, where I need to be, who I need to be talking to, all that just based on that. Like if somebody's saying, hey, don't forget about this, I'm like, I don't know, just add to the calendar or remind me.
Yeah.
Like stop telling me because I already forgot. Like sometimes I don't even listen. I laugh, and Jess, if she's watching right now, she's gonna laugh her ass off too, because like whenever like she'll text me like during the day, like I'll be like here or something, and she'll be like, hey, on your way home, don't forget about X. I'll literally say, remind me on my way home.
Oh my God. This guy.
every single time, like remind me on my way home. I do. I have to.
I mean, I get it.
It
would be lovely to have an admin. I would love to have that support.
Oh, me too.
If there's anyone in my classes that wants to learn how to be an entrepreneur for free,
we're both taking on an intern.
It's a subscription service. It's
yes.
monthly.
Yes. Yeah. No, we need the help.
But when I was in school, I did so many internships. Like speaking of being a self-starter, like I did internships I didn't have to do. And this was at a time in the 20-aughts where you were not getting paid. You were lucky to get the internship.
Yeah.
And I had fun ones. But I would tell anybody, like if you want to do this, if you want to know how, then you got to shadow it.
Yeah. I was literally going to say that because we were talking before like about like doing things and like, not that like, obviously you're teaching now, right? Not that I don't think I could ever be a teacher, but like I'm also the type of person that's like, I'd rather somebody just like follow, like shadow me, like like if you want to learn, just watch me.
Yeah, you're hands-on.
Just come watch me. Like anyone can learn from me more so just from being around me, like literally just like watching what I do than me standing up and like teaching somebody. And again, I guess it's all different how people learn, but I think I would be able to, even though I'm not teaching, but like if you're watching, like essentially like you're absorbing, like, what I'm doing, right?
Yes.
Like how I do all this and how I talk and, engage with people and meetings and, all the work behind the scenes, all that stuff. Like, not that you can't teach that in a classroom, but I mean, again, it goes back to, you just have to do. You just have to do it.
You just have to do it. You do.
That's it.
And like you said, not built for school, the like 9-to-5 thing. I hope the next round of people that feel that way do find us, because I'm finding it's not that my career has gotten where I want my career. So I'm still climbing, and I do believe words are spells. So I'm putting my intentions. I'm still climbing, but I have found a lot more fulfillment in this like mentorship dynamic. At first I was like, oh, another thing for my resume, I'm going to teach. Like who wouldn't want to throw that on, right? I finished my master's. I might as well do something with it. And which is funny because I built, never mind. It's just, it's the way we look at things, right? But I truly, oh God, there's the ADHD. What was it? And you probably don't know either.
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I'm just over here with the fidget toys.
Teaching,
I'm over here with
pipping
things
back.
I don't know.
I am finding class by class, there is this like enrichment component for me as the mentor. I can't put my finger on it yet because I haven't been at it this long. I know I'm going to try it another semester and see if this is my shtick, but or one of my shticks. Shtick.
Spell shtick.
SCHTICK.
Say it again.
SCHTICK. Shtick.
Shtick. Okay, I'm just writing that down
It's a good one.
in case I need to know that.
Yeah.
Horrible speller.
I love to, in the kitchen, I always say the word zhuzh. Zhuzh is for whatever you want.
So is that almost like a shush?
No, it's like a zhuzh it up, mix it up, spice it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the terms you use in the kitchen at
Yeah.
NEPA'rogi.
Oh my God.
I can't say it any other way. You know why? I know you already know this. We were going back to that original episode. What number was that? So
50.
50.
Close to 50.
50.
I don't know that it was 50. I thought you did something special for 50.
You were like...
It's like around there.
Yeah, so...
It was a long, long time. 2021, I think. 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
We totally just sidetracked ourselves hard.
Well, that's what it's like. This is a reality. This is how the days go, but that's what keeps it exciting because no 2 days are the same as an entrepreneur.
It was 50. You were right. Yeah. It was 50. It was 50. Yeah. It was 52. 52 was like technically my 1 year because I was like one a week kind of thing. So that's probably what you were thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So no, 50. But 50 is still almost like 1 year. I mean, in a sense, the difference of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think what I was going to say, and I forgot what we were talking about before that, but what I was going to say, I was going to tell your students again, assignment number 2 is now go back and listen to episode 50, audio only, so you don't get to see our beautiful faces. Which, by the way, assignment number 1, watching this episode, they have to watch it on YouTube. They have to watch visually.
It has to be on YouTube.
Yeah, because they have to tell me what I'm holding in my hand right now to be able to get credit.
Boom.
I'll hold it up again. We're not going to say what it is.
I love that.
You like that?
I do.
I'm getting good at this.
That's how I like to. So that's the accountability portion, right? Like I think it'd be great for people in marketing to be watching YouTube podcasts. There's so much to learn from that.
Yeah,
because you're in marketing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we all learn everything on YouTube.
It's true. If
everything.
you search it.
Anything.
Yeah, Frankie learned how to do plumbing for our life. The construction. Yeah. He was like, you can learn it on YouTube.
Yeah, I learned how to do everything in this building.
Oh yeah, you did do a lot. This building's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
This is so nice. This is aspirational for me in my new.
It's come a long way.
Business.
It's come a long way.
It's well branded.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm huge on branding.
Same.
I get yelled at all the time for having my logo too much everywhere, but I don't care.
Nope.
I mean, I took it down actually. Shout out to, Brian DiMattei, Food Fight Podcast behind me here. And, Dr. Will Ramey, Leadership Decoded. I'm just giving them some free ad space here behind me. But because they're dope and part of the team, and I'm super grateful for those guys and the rest of the team as well. But yeah.
You were a one-man band the last time I saw you. Episode 50.
That's right.
Yeah.
Episode 50. Yeah. So at that time, I was.
And you have a team, a great team.
I do.
Who I love to visit with. There's always good energy here.
Always.
And not to be woo-woo, but we just know when something just doesn't fit our vibe. And you walk in the store, it's like, cozy.
Yeah.
I grabbed the blanket and I laid down. I needed to decompress and check emails.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like this, like I said, like this building has come a long way. Mm-hmm. A very long way. A lot of money.
Yes.
I mean, it's a small building, but still a lot of money.
Another reason you don't make money.
Yes.
Always reinvest.
Yes.
I know.
Always. I told the story not long ago, a previous episode, a few back maybe. I bought myself a pair of sneakers one time with the money.
Yeah. That's it. It's like a special
with
treat.
this money.
Like, what am I going to do with all this money?
Yeah. Bought myself a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, but it's memorable. You'll remember them.
Yeah.
But I get that that's sacrifice. The reality. Next time somebody said, how do you do it? I'm going to turn around and say, why do you want to? Like the why. Like let's say they have the proclivity. They're like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Why do you think you want that? Because there is a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of ambiguity. And your 24/7 job, because now you have a living, breathing baby business out there, 24/7, brick and mortar or not, even if it's online. It's forever, man. It's a kid. It's a baby. It's another kid. So, I mean, I don't have any children yet, but it feels like children.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, it is. Like it's your first child.
And it is, and it's not glamorous. There are moments that are so fun, like having the president visit and be like, "You gave me my degree, my first higher ed degree, and now you're at my business. This is great." Those things feel awesome. But the fact of the matter is that 80% of my time, it's the 80-20 rule for everything. 80% of my time is just like...
On the Stacks will be back in a flash after a word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Elevation Wellness, NEPA's premier wellness center located on Mundy Street in Wilkes-Barre. From pro athletes to busy parents, Elevation Wellness is leading the conversation when it comes to bettering your health through integrative medicine. Founded by NEPA native Louis Helmecke, Elevation Wellness offers physician-formulated and guided treatments that are administered by registered nurses. To learn more about how you can experience the benefits of IV vitamin therapy, multivitamin booster shots, non-invasive aesthetics, or peptide, NAD, red light, and compression therapy, visit elevation-wellness.com or follow them on Instagram at Elevation Wellness NEPA. All On the Stacks listeners will receive 10% off their first purchase with code STACKS at checkout. Call 570-762-9400 or visit elevation-wellness.com to book your appointment today. Elevation Wellness, taking your health to new heights.
A lot of times when people are in car accidents, kind of forget what we should do. First and foremost, call 911. Then, get out of your car before moving it and take pictures. It's so important to capture what the cars look like immediately following the accident. Finally, call your insurance carrier and make a claim.
To learn more, visit Anzalone Law offices online at anzalonelaw.com. This episode is brought to you by Loop Internet. Are you tired of buffering, lagging, and slow internet speeds? Look no further. Introducing Loop Internet, Northeastern Pennsylvania's fastest and most reliable internet service provider. With Loop Internet, you can stream, game, and work from home seamlessly. Say goodbye to interruptions and hello to lightning-fast connections. Loop Internet offers both residential and business fiber. Fast-track the future with their 10-gigabyte fiber and join the Loop Internet family today. Visit Loop Internet online at loopinternet.com or call 1-888-808-5667. Again, that's 1-888-808-5667. Or visit them online at loopinternet.com. Loop Internet, where speed meets reliability. And now we're back on the stacks.
Doing all the things that people probably don't want to do or don't realize comes with entrepreneurship. Like when, someone calls off, if you're in that kind of industry, you're jumping in. If somebody, if there's a deadline to meet, you're staying up. There's no like in entrepreneurship, you better, before you start, eliminate excuses. Like be done with excuses. Just, they're in your way. And if you feel yourself, like I do this a lot, like if you're doing like a self-pity thing, like, oh, it's so hard, I'm so tired, like, then take a break. You're an adult. Take a day off.
Yeah, right. But we still
and
don't do
then
that.
we
don't do that. Yeah.
It has to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be intentional, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, like going back to the entrepreneurship thing, because I think it's such an interesting, conversation topic, because, again, people all the time, same thing, like they see what I do here, right? They look at this studio, people watching right now, and anybody that ever walks in here is like, oh, wow, this is cool. Like, oh, like, I want to do something like this. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing, it's people don't know. And you said 80-20. I always usually say like 90-10.
Oh, well, that's probably more realistic.
Again, yeah. But we'll go 80-20. It don't matter. It's close enough. But again, like this right here, this 1 hour that you and I are sitting here, this is the easiest part of my entire week. This right here, this is the easiest part. And all the hardest part is all the before and all the after, and then everything in between.
Yeah.
Like this is easy.
Yeah.
This is so easy.
It's fun. I mean, I'm glad it's easy for you.
And that's the thing. Like,
I'm nervous.
You're in the hot seat. I cranked the heat up, made the light real bright today.
And it's super official here.
I'm
like
nervous,
when we first
dropping some F-bombs.
I'm waiting. But like when we first did this, there were no cameras, la la. I was like, oh, too great. Now I'm like, this is legit.
It's a whole other level. Yeah.
But I'm with you. Like when people, have ideas, I'm like, you should do them. Or when people say, oh, don't give your recipe away. I mean, I'm not going to put it everywhere, but my joke is, if you have the guts to do what I just went through, because I don't know if I would do the same thing the same way, as there are a few things I would adjust big time in building a business. Godspeed. I will be your biggest fan if you could pull this off. I will advise you. I would take people under my wing and advise them, but it all comes down to themselves. I cannot do it for other people.
Yeah.
And, all their ideas are great, but I'm like, no, really, you should do that. Like take that one first step because
do the work.
You're onto it. You just have to pull that. You have to jump, leap.
Yeah. And I think too, like it also, a lot of people are always like, oh, like I don't know where to start. Again, it's just start. And then like the other thing is like, listen, you can change courses along the way.
Totally.
Like, and it may take you 5 years of doing that thing, even if you changed courses a couple times of whatever that, couple, V1, V2, V3 of that iteration. Final with a bunch of L's at the end. It's, again, sometimes it literally, it takes that to figure out like where you want to take it, because from day one, your vision is going to be completely different than it is now. Like, and again, we don't have to go down the rabbit hole of like where you and I both started versus where you and I both are now.
Yeah.
But again, it's like the same, but also very different.
Yeah.
And a lot of growth, like a real lot of growth that, if you didn't just keep putting one foot in front of the other every day and just keep doing it, like consistent as fuck all the time, like F-bomb, there it is. Dropped it.
First to use it this episode.
Yeah.
I'm saving it for something real spicy.
Do it. Yeah, good. But that's what it takes. Like, and some people aren't willing. People just think things are going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
And there's like, oh, like again, and actually you're the person that said this to me, and I don't know if you'll remember this. And I anytime I ever tell this story, I actually use your name. I literally do all the time.
Remember, it's something I said.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like way back in the day, by the way, Lauren actually, like in the very early on days of OTS, like Lauren was like OG ground level helping me on the back end of everything.
I was just rooting for you, my guy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. But part of that, and the reason me sharing that story is because the one thing you said to me is, you looking at my stuff, everything I'm doing, you said, you make it look easy. And going back to how everybody likes things like, oh, like I could do this, I want to do this, or like, it's like, when like, well, why do you want to do it? How you gonna do it? And then people are like, oh, I don't know, like, and I think people look at, again, if anyone looks at like where I started, now I know you know, but a lot of people don't know. A lot of people that see me now only see this right now. Like, look around this room. Like, this is what people are seeing, and they're like, oh yeah, like that. Oh, that's easy. I could do that. We could figure that out. And it's like, well, I'm sure you probably could.
Absolutely.
But this didn't happen over. This took 5 years. This is 5 years, right here, right now.
That's wild.
Literally, almost like within a week or two from now.
Yeah.
This is 5 years.
5 years of work.
5 years.
Right, and the reality of that is countless hours. I don't even think you could probably quantify.
No, and I've never even kept track because it's that much.
Yeah. Well, it's
that
part
much.
of you. It's just different than a job.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
It is. That's what this is. Like, it's not like going in and clocking in. Like,
No.
it's nothing like that. It's just my life.
Yeah.
Like, OTS is my life. My life is OTS, and vice versa. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I infuse y'all say like me, my brand, all that, like, me into this brand. And like, it's actually like two separate brands, but also one and the same. But again, like, what you said to me like way back then was like, oh, you make it look easy. That's why people like be like, oh, like I want to do that.
Yeah.
Or like, and everyone's like, oh, like how'd you do it all? And like I said, you said like you just make it look easy, and it's not my intention to make it look easy. I guess when I do these things, I guess because I do it well.
Yep.
And I never compliment myself. So, but
I like that. That's super important. Confidence is key.
Yeah.
Anytime I find myself doubting myself, that imposter syndrome sneaks in on me. It's destructive. So just stay with it. Clap for yourself a little.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, cause I'm, as you know, like, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like we hardly ever celebrate our wins.
I actually do not. I agree.
Like,
I totally agree.
I hardly ever do. Like, and it's like, and then afterwards, sometimes then I feel guilty about like, oh shit, that was like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even post like a little thing about it for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And by the way, also, this 5-year journey thing, when you said like, yeah, make it look easy, back then, when you said that, like I was just like a 1-man show really, but now it's like a 5-man show. And it would never have gotten to the level that it has gotten to without the team.
Yes.
And you're a fool to think that you can do anything by yourself or build anything like this by yourself, because it's not possible.
No.
Like, it's literally not possible.
It's not.
And, you surround yourself with the right people, good people, smarter than you in some sense. You have to.
Always say it.
You have to. Like,
don't be afraid of them.
Yeah, you have to, because that's how you're going to grow. Like, it's
yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid of that. Like, it's like, oh boy, well, good luck.
Yeah. Well, as an entrepreneur, it's not your job to be the smartest person in the room. You're the shot caller. You put the best people in the best spots where their
to win.
Inclination. Yeah, it's a team. You're a coach. You're a coach. You're a coach, and you're a problem solver. People say like, I solve problems all day.
That's it. This is it.
Yeah.
That's it. All we do is we put out fires and solve problems.
Exactly. And I don't have the answers. I feel so like my team will be like, what do we do?
I'll just figure it out. You know what I can't. You know what I can't stand when somebody's like, well, I couldn't. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Don't come to me with it didn't work.
Yeah.
Come to me with the solution.
It has to
work.
work.
Yeah, like no, like this. It just has to.
But that's a mindset.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
Like I say this all the time. I will never, ever, 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 ever. I don't know how many more times I can say ever. Ever.
Lots
like
of ours.
quit or give up on something. Like I'll figure it out.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care if it takes me 3 times as long. I'll figure it the fuck out.
To a fault.
Yes.
Yes.
Like literally, I'll run myself into the ground to figure it out. But that's what it takes. That's literally what it takes.
It does.
And if and again, back to the entrepreneurship conversation, it's like, oh, you want to be an entrepreneur. That's what it takes. If you can't do that, if you can't work 100 hours a week, then it's not for you.
Yeah, that's totally
and
true.
Be happy about it. That's the most important part. Yeah, because
nobody's clapping for you.
No,
like nobody's gonna be like,
no, keep
going. That's your inner voice.
Yeah,
and you that's why you have to work on your self-confidence. You have to keep it in check because you need it. That's how I maybe that's how I pick up that first foot in the morning. It's like, you know what? I'm doing this because this is mine and only I can in this instance. And no one's doing it for me. And I really do at the end of the day, like I'm like, this is exciting. There are nights I go to sleep excited. There are nights I go to sleep, I forget falling asleep because I'm that exhausted. But I don't know about you, if you have like an event coming up or something, I'm laying in bed the night before, I'm like, I'm so excited about like this part. Like if I have a visitor, if I have especially like family stuff, I start to look forward to it. And the business I'm in is super emotional. So that's a whole nother layer of responsibility. Oh my God, people's like expectations and memories and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my team too. You're so right. That's why I'm giving them, opportunities to explore what they want to do. I'm cheering everybody on, follow their path. They're not always going to be pierogi makers. But I want to give them as many opportunities as they can get. And almost as important as the right people is knowing when to break from not the right people.
Yeah.
And how to have those conversations that this is no longer, maybe it's me, maybe it's you, maybe it's both of us. But as the entrepreneur and it being your baby, there's nothing I'm going to be more serious about than like, you know what, you might not agree with me, but this is my school bus. I'm driving it. You're on my bus now. You want to get your own bus? We'll ride on your bus. But the point is, like, I love it and care about it so much, like you say, like to a fault, that I have high expectations. And having the right team is just one of those things I actually didn't expect to. I wasn't prepared for that part. I'm working on that. That's definitely a growth opportunity for me as things continue to get bigger. Scaling is another thing I'm focused on. Scaling is new to me as well. And I don't know if I can say it yet or not. I don't think it's that big of a secret, but I was offered to teach next semester the entrepreneurship course.
Nice.
At LCC.
Awesome.
First time. So I think I would love to
Can I
have
come speak there too?
that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. I just invited myself before you even started the thing.
I would think that people attending are considering it. I would think. It's probably a business elective, but talk about like an opportunity to really connect with people.
Yeah.
Like really, I hope it's a small class, and I hope I have people come visit me at the shop. I just had a person this week saying, hey, you have like 10, 15 minutes. I have an idea for me that I really want to do. And those I make the time for. I'm like, yes, I will give you anything you want to know. Like I very open book. Even our shop itself, it's all glass walls. You could watch. There's nothing hidden. Everything is just wide open. I have nothing to hide. I own my past. I own my present. I own the mistakes I'll make in the future. As for our product, wide open as well. Nothing to hide there. And the way I talk or the things that I'm willing to share, the advice I'd give, why would I hold that back? Like if I have it at my fingertips and I'm excited to talk about it, like share that, because then specifically where I'm housed, a bunch of the other small businesses are newer, this generation, maybe Gen X, and they're all hyped up and we're feeding off each other, even some of us in competition, but we're like hyped because there's this Main Street USA culture and, like I said, emotional business, food. There's a lot to that, but I'm having a really good time right now.
Good.
And it's becoming something it's so like you said, what you started as versus what it is now. And now where it's going, it's got its own life.
Yeah.
Like now I'm just like,
you're just lifting it up. I thought of that as you're doing this. I'm like, you're just,
truly.
That's it. And there was two things I want to say. Number one is about competition. Number two is, I got to circle back so we can't forget. Okay,
I'm going to
write this down.
notes.
Competition.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? I want to tell you about, what the hell was, about like, again, like younger people. Maybe this is like a good thing for like the students to hear, like if they're looking to do whatever the hell they want to do in life, right? So we'll start with that, okay?
Yes.
And again, it goes back to like somebody say, hey, I have this idea, I want to do the thing. Okay, great, go do the thing. Just try it, right? A lot of people, like I'll give myself as an example. I call myself a late bloomer, okay?
What aspect of life?
I don't know, probably everything. I don't know, all right? I don't know.
Bill, tell us how
anything, potential.
That makes you feel.
Right? What, that?
I'm flipping the script. I want more info.
Late bloomer? This could go really deep.
No, but
this is gonna be a part two.
I feel where you're going, and I feel a kinship here. So I want to know.
Yeah, this is woo-woo maybe.
It might be.
Okay. Yeah. So again, like go way back to like school. Like you're put in a freaking box. You're told you suck. You're told you're not going to go anywhere. You get bad grades. You fail. You get bad attitude on the report card. He yells in class. He talks out. He's obnoxious. Blah blah blah. Right. All that and all that. Right. So I think as a kid, and this is like me, but also like I'm sure millions of other people have also experienced this. For your whole life, you were basically just put in a box, told to shut up, follow the rules, Do what we tell you. Don't have any of your own thoughts. Don't have any of your own ideas. Don't do anything but what we tell you. And here's the 10 things that you can maybe go do. And you just, you become like so, I can't find the word for it, but you're like stuck.
Yeah.
And you never, and I feel like, and I said this earlier about like finding your potential or like realizing your true potential. And I'll say like for me, again, I'm 35 years old. I feel like until now, I don't think I ever really realized like what I'm capable of.
There you go.
Like I'm capable of doing so much more than I ever thought, but it took me until like literally like between the ages of like, you know, early 30s, I'll just say early to now mid. I feel like I'm like an old dad now, right? But really,
I feel like we're 20 still.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's again. So when I say like a late bloomer, like it basically took me till now to like figure it out. So like everybody looks at me and says like, oh my God, like, oh, it must be nice. Oh, it must be, oh, oh my God, look how far he's, it's like, well, listen, like, you know, if you want to call this success or not, a lot of people, again, everybody has a different level of like what success means or looks like. A lot of people probably say this is extreme success, right? Mm-hmm. I don't look at it as like it is or it isn't. Again, to me, it's just, this is just where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near where I want to be.
Yeah.
Right. But again, like, it took like I'll just say it literally took my whole life to figure this out, to get to this moment right now. Literally to get to this moment. So when you think about that, how many people just give up after 6 months or a year, or just go on with that job that they hate for the rest of their life and never even consider doing anything else? They never even try. Most people never even try. Think about that.
No.
And everyone just thinks like, oh, I'm not gonna do it because it's stupid. Oh, I'm not gonna do it because people are gonna make fun of me. Oh, I told my friend and they said, oh, no, don't do that. It's too risky. Or, oh no, that sucks. Or your best friend, your friends are gonna laugh at you. They do. All mine did.
Yeah.
The only people that didn't laugh were people that weren't my friends. It's crazy.
That's interesting.
It's crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's insane how, again, I guess maybe because people didn't know how serious I was or wasn't about it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like whether you're doing something as a hobby or trying to make it into a business, don't fucking laugh at people.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at them. What are
Yeah.
you doing? You're not doing anything.
I think you're right.
So like if somebody's trying something, cheer them on. Cheer them on. You don't have to woo rah them every single day. You know what I mean?
I know.
But clap for your friends once in a while.
Absolutely.
But again, like my I guess my point of the whole thing, and then we'll go on to the competition thing, is like it could literally take you, like I'll say as a professional, like so like you get say whether you go to college or not. So from 18 years old on, or 22 to 25 years on, right? So you go to college and then some, right? It may take you 10 or 15 years of doing one thing or 10 things to realize like what you do or don't want to do, or really what your true potential is. Like I feel like I was like caged up like on a leash,
I very much relate.
and now that like I'm like off the leash, I sound
Yeah, you're
Like
wild.
I'm like, yeah, I'm wild, savage. This is leading to the competition part. But yeah, like nothing can stop me.
No.
I've also been through a lot of shit, good and bad, and I don't have to get into like the whole shtick of it.
The
like
shtick,
that.
yeah.
I had that right. I'm looking down, like can't find the word shtick. There it is. Knew I wrote that down for a reason.
Just plug it in.
But it's all the life experiences too. So like again, if you're an 18 or 25-year-old, I tell Eric all the time because Eric's like 7 years old, by the way. I think he's like 26 or 27.
Very
Eric,
illegal
I'm sorry, I don't know
for him to work here.
I know. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know your exact age.
He's an intern.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, Eric. You're delightful and thank you.
He is. But I tell him all the time, like, bro, like if I was doing what you're doing when I was your age, bro, you see where we are at right now?
Yeah.
If I was doing this when I was your age, I said we'd be so much further along than we are. Like look where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we'd be light years ahead.
Yeah.
And like I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, I see it. Like I'm like, man, just keep doing the thing, keep doing this. Like, and again, that people just quit too soon. And people don't realize like how young they really are. Even 40, by the way. I'm 35. I know I said it a couple times, but in case you missed it, like
I'm only 30.
because like I have friends that like are like almost 40 or 40 and think like their life's over. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I know.
Like you have like 20 years of professional experience that you can roll into something. You can roll into something new. You can do something, and like you think you're starting at zero, but you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just start over.
No, absolutely.
It's not too late.
I get that. I observe it. I observe it. My parents talk about like their life after retirement too. My mom actually is going to go and look into getting like a certificate program she always wanted to do.
Good.
She didn't finish it in college, got married, had kids, did the thing,
Yeah.
did the thing. Now look at her kid. And I was like, hell yeah, get the fuck back to school, Mom.
F-bomb. Yeah.
She loved it too. She's like,
Yeah.
I will go the fuck back to school.
Did she say fuck?
She
That's
does.
good.
She's excellent. My mom, oh my God, dude. Relationship with your parents as adults is stellar. My mom is rocking it. My dad's always got my back. My stepmom, she rocks. My stepdad, he rocks. Like I'm loving being an adult, but I love seeing them do it. And that when you said about like, it's not too late to start over, I heard that like a lot. And I know there's a lot of reasons. I mean, I worked a 9 to 5 until I was 30. So like, I get it. I'm only 4 years into this. But I know all the reasons why you can't and why you just can't change it. But like, if you don't now and you never do, then you never did. So why don't you just try, right? Chances are there's no black and white, like fail. I love my therapist. I hope she has time in the day to listen to this because I just adore her. I think she's the best. But she would say to me when I'm like that, like, oh, I could do it or not. Is there a third option? Like to think it's either succeed or fail is ridiculous. There's always something else in the middle. Like there's no, well, I did it or I didn't. Because if you try and you fail, you at least tried it. And for me, I think another driving thing, like you said about stuff you went through, I went through an experience as a child with an illness, childhood cancer, and it was thyroid cancer. It was a tough time. I was a little kid, but a lot of what I went through there taught me like, and not to get all existential woo-woo, but there will come a day where I take my last breath and I'm going to say to myself, like, did I take enough naps? But
Yeah, that's a very serious thing. I mean,
the point will be though, like, at least I tried.
Yeah.
At least I knew that wasn't for me. I'd rather admit something wasn't a fit, but that I had done it, because like with this, it just opens up like a whole new world. And why live miserable? Like, what's the alternative? Be still being miserable? Well, it's not that bad then if you're already,
yeah,
right? Just try it. If you fail, you bomb out. And financially, like, again, I don't want to be super duper vulnerable, but like, I pay my bills right now, but I think what people think, like the vision of owning a business and all this glamour and stuff, especially not a startup business from zero, like, you know, we have to be fiscally responsible in our house right now. So I put that right out there. Like, I guess the point that I was getting to is like, it's not all glory. You go a long time sacrificing, and if you can make it work, multiple jobs, whatever, however you financially need to, because that's why I brought it up. That's usually the barrier I hear of why not. Comfortable in your finances, comfortable in your lifestyle, finally got to a point that they trained you all those years of school that like you have arrived.
You're gonna have the corner office
Did
and the big
it.
salary, this and that.
Yeah, why flesh it now?
Yeah.
Because stress kills, and do you really want your job to be the thing that takes you out? Like at the end of the day, if you are really miserable and suffering, you can at least entertain the idea of going your own way. Just entertain it.
People also don't want to take a step back. That's the other big thing.
And it is,
like
for me.
whether you're making 30, 40 grand, 60 grand, 80, 100, 150. I'm just giving out a huge range there. It doesn't matter. Nobody wants to take a step back, like AKA like nobody wants to like leave the day job like, oh, like I'm gonna go do the thing that I want to do, but like I can't. I have the salary. I got the good salary. But like, listen, if you say you want to be it, then go be it.
Yeah.
You can't say both. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna go do that, but yet you don't want to give up the salary.
Yeah.
Give up the salary. You have to. That's the only way to do it.
It's true.
You have to take a step back. Like we've done it. We've all done it. Like you and I, like we know what happens, what it takes. Like you have to.
Yeah.
Like you have to. And if you're not willing to do that and make the sacrifices, like literally don't pay yourself a penny.
Yes.
Like if you can't live with that, then it's not for you.
No.
So
that is the key. You need to accept that you're not going to get paid sometimes.
A lot of times,
especially starting.
A lot.
I think the goal is, though, again, in building your team, they have to have the passion plus vision, because getting your team built, challenging, like being able to afford the people at the skill level you want and the output and people that are jiving with you, it's not always great. They have to have their heart in the game, and they have to understand that you are working bare bones, like you're making it work, you're bringing it together. In the long term, whoever's stuck with me, and there are a number of people that have been A1, day one people that I pray I get the opportunity to take care of them the way I wish I could now.
Yeah.
But you need to accept that you are probably not going to get paid. And I got to tell you, like in the beginning, I have never admittedly had the balls to walk away from a job. I'm a big baby. I'm a big scared baby. And I
Scaredy cat.
will tell you again about the woo-woo. The universe booted my ass out. I lost my job during COVID at Misericordia University. They had a big staff reduction. I did my job fine, but cuts are cuts. So that booted me out. That's kind of where this all started. And then I had some contracts that I was
a blessing.
Unbelievable, because I look back and that was the fork in the road. And then recently I had that one last emergency side hustle. I'm like, all right, at least I'll get this, like knowing your minimum budget for the month. Like I got it. And before Christmas, industry wise, hey, this contract's over. So it booted me, but if it didn't, I was still in that gray area for so long. I've always said it's not a light switch. You start being an entrepreneur and you teeter, you do what you need to do to pay your bills. If you got to freaking bartend. If you got to do night work, side work, computer, whatever, to get yourself where you need to be. And I agree, people don't want to take the step back. But if this is scaring you to a point where you're like, ugh, it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
And you can't care, by the way. This is just one big one for me. When my family helps me cook or something at the shop, they'll always be like, what about this? What about that? And I said, if I worried about every goddamn ingredient in this building every night when I went to sleep, I wouldn't be sleeping. I'd have ulcers. On some level, entrepreneurs need to just let it go.
Yeah.
Can't control it all.
Oh, yeah, that's a challenge.
It's heavy.
I forgot about the competition.
What
thing,
happened?
But it's kind of similar to like what kind of what you're saying, but just recently I was saying with a friend and I was just like, he said like, oh, like you got to be aware of your, like, he's like, oh, I think you're being blind to your competition. I'm like, I said, no, I'm not blind. I said, like, they just don't matter to me.
Right.
And like, I think a lot of people get too caught up in watching their competition and like analyzing them to it. Listen, I agree. You have to be aware of everyone around you, your team, the people around you, plus, the competition. Like you have to be, of course you do. But there's a fine line of just constantly checking on the competition.
Yeah. That
all you're going to do then is you're going to suck yourself into just all like comparing yourself to your competition all the time.
Right.
That it's going to do is you're going to go backwards. You're literally going to go backwards. You're not going to go forward. And so when people mention that to me, I'll mention that to me sometimes. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care what, to a degree, right? I don't care what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't really even consider, I mean, yeah, sure. Okay. Maybe I'll call some, a few here or there competition, but I don't know, going back to the potential thing, like I said before, I haven't even started.
I know.
I'm the level of confidence that I have now in my life and what I can do, what I've built on nights and weekends here, it's 25%. I haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And, competition to me, I feel like just with my experiences, everything I've done, it doesn't matter. It's not going to stop me. Will we lose, some, projects or contracts, whatever to other, sure. But I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on what I'm going after and I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do whatever it takes and nothing's going to stop me.
I totally believe that. And
it's again, sure, competition's competition, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit.
No.
I do not care. They're like, oh, how are you better than them? Well, I am, and I'll prove it by doing. I'm not going to explain to you how we're better. I'm not going to explain to you why we have better this or better that. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You don't need the best equipment. You don't need the best of this or that or whatever. It does not matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. You literally can do anything as long as you just set your mind to it, and just go get it. Just figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. That's it.
There's a misconception. Right on the mic.
Careful.
Oh, I get so excited. I'm just like,
Yeah. It's not a pierogi. Don't eat it.
There's this misconception, I think, and I had it too, where I just assumed that people in business got it. They had their shit together.
No, none of us do.
I have a quote. It's something there are people out there doing something so poorly that you could ace, and yet they're getting paid to do it anyway.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. There's nobody that's I've arrived and I am the business person.
All you have to do is show up.
That's it.
And just be a tiny, tiny bit better.
No,
which
that's
just
little
like you just said.
competitive advantage.
Yeah, just like you just said. There's a lot of bad I'm not
out
knocking
there.
anyone.
No.
This isn't about nobody specific. There's a lot of bad businesses out there that just do bad, like just shitty work. I'll say like not quality, whatever, like no communication. There's just so many things. Like I say it all the time. Like I look at things and again, it's back to the idea thing. And again, this is contradictory, but I can look at like any business thing and think to myself, like, I can do that better. Like, it's like, I know I could.
Are you always in there doing like a SWOT analysis? Strengths,
I'm like, oh my God,
weakness, opportunities.
Look what they're not doing. Like, I could do that and then some and do it better.
And that's what I wonder what's the line of an entrepreneur and a business starter and launcher versus, I think about this, like, what's my trajectory? What's next? Am I always going to be pinching pierogi? I don't know. It's not my intention, but I don't know. I see myself as a business maker, builder, and then just like mastering. I have a couple other really great business ideas I want to do, but as for my competition, I don't have time for it. I will. That's what I mean.
Yes, I said like I don't even let that occupy space in my brain anymore.
No, it's pervasive.
Like I wouldn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
When it was brought up there, I said I wouldn't even talk about it. I said nah, but I said dude, why you even talk? I said I don't have the time or energy or the brain capacity to even think about that right now. I said I don't care. I said I'm like fucking savage as fuck going forward. I am. I've become so savage because like, well, sorry, but you guys are going to get left behind. That's it. I'm going to run everybody over. And I don't mean that in like a malicious way.
Right.
It's just, I know what I'm capable of. Some people may not, and look out.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming for it all.
Bill is going to crush
I am coming for it all.
I do believe it.
I am.
And I do believe that's critical in the success. And I believe like, your trajectory is yours alone. Head down, keep going straight. I like to be aware if something is actually competitive with me. I've seen businesses that tried to keep up with other businesses and the competition, and I've seen them go out of business. And I'm bummed. I don't like it. But someone told me once, like, you can't fake the results. Like, you can't take someone else's stuff and market it and then get the end result. Because at the end of the day, customers are buying here.
You are you.
Yeah.
Like you can't replicate you.
No. So I'm very cool with competition in like you said, like I just don't have the space. Like I have so many of my ideas that I just need to, every time a festival comes up, I'm like, guys, I've been thinking for months, this is our next big thing we're doing, just to have somebody like scoop it up. So I got smarter about it. I stopped giving them the opportunity, and I just don't even, they're like colleagues. I don't even consider them competition. We're doing something so different. And like I said, if someone was like, oh, I'm going to take your structure, your recipe or whatever,
go for it.
God love you. That's all I have to say is God love you. It's been wild. It's been a great ride. I don't mess with enemies, but I will say I have learned over the years that the people around us, at least in our home area, globally, on a global perspective, which moving forward to these alpha kids and they're globally diverse, you are more like your biggest enemy in your hometown than not on the global scale. So I try to keep that tribal thing in perspective. These are my people, like it or not. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm planted. This is where I'm going to grow. But yeah, even my number one op is more like me than not on the global scale. So if it's local and they're hating, I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much for participating in this ecosystem of business.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate your bitching and complaining. I appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. Someone says, I don't get this a lot. I really don't get this. People are very kind at the pierogi shop. But if someone says, I won't be back, thank you. This is the new age of business. I have been tortured working for retail places before where I couldn't speak up. And this time I can ask you to leave. So
goodbye.
Have a great day. Final.
Yeah, final out the door.
I love it. Yeah. I love standing up for my team too. I love it. I just love being that confidence in your business.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I woke up and I got my shit together today.
Yeah. And because it's so goddamn fresh, talking about all we're talking about, a lot of people think like, he talks like, he's cocky, like, he doesn't, all that and all that. So like, talking about going all in on yourself, all that, right? And I showed you before. Sorry, I'm not gonna be able to really see it in the camera because there's a thing over it. But I literally got the words
"ow, ow,"
bet on yourself tattooed on my arm
today.
Literally today. So again, if this doesn't tell you how serious I am about what I'm doing and about myself and my business and like what I'm capable of,
Yeah.
I got a fucking tattooed on my arm. So move over.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So, not that I think anyone like doesn't believe in me, because I think all the people around me 100% believe in me. But this is how serious I am.
I believe
This
that
is savage. This is savage. This is it.
Yeah, growing your belief in yourself, though, is what matters. And that's like the differential. That's the competitive advantage, just having that in you and realizing, like you said, the systems we grew up in and however they were, like we were raised to think being confident means cockiness. And it's quite opposite, because if you don't have confidence, you wouldn't be able to execute what you do daily. You have to on some level. And I think imposter syndrome in the 20s stole that from me. And much like you in your 30s, where you wake up and you're like, what's the bigger picture? What is this in the grand scheme of things for me? I have to believe in myself, because, not to be cliche, but partners and everything and family, as much as, I spend time with, they're in the businesses, stuff like that. They see what goes on. At the end of the day, it is me. I got to root for me. Nobody's going to root as loud for me as me. And I got to stay motivated. And I don't think low self-esteem is going to help that. And it's not to say I don't experience that. I actually have to kick myself in the ass harder and say, enough of the wallowing. Don't be a martyr. You're not a victim. Have your cry. Eat your box of Cocoa Pebbles with your almond milk and shut up.
Wake up tomorrow and do it all over again.
That's it. Just like, you know what? Write it off tonight. That's okay. You can write a day off.
Yeah.
You could stop a day at any point and be like, I'm done for today. The joy of entrepreneur, I'm done for the day. But you better get back up in the morning, and it better be earlier than 8 o'clock, because that is not early enough.
Yeah. And I think you need more than motivation. It's a lot of it is it's a lot of it. Like, I was asking about like schedule and all that too. It's like, it's also discipline.
The discipline. But I'm not disciplined in other avenues.
Neither am I, but in certain things, in like in business, this stuff, like you have to be, because like, again, getting up that next day, like you're going right back to it. That's discipline. Like, right. Most people like don't have that. Most people won't do that. They'll just be like, I'm not motivated. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, sure. Are there a lot of days that I'm not motivated? Yeah. Some days do I do some things? No, I don't. Right. But for the most part, I'm still showing up like 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And just being disciplined. And it's just consistency.
Yeah.
That's really all it takes actually to win. That's it. It's just consistency.
It really is.
It's just show up.
In so many ways in life, though, if you're consistent about anything, you're going to get results.
Yes. You just like I've always said, like I will just outwork anyone. Like I may not be successful like yesterday or today or tomorrow, but I'm just so consistent and so persistent. I'll just wear everybody out till I win. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And sometimes that could be all that it takes.
I will survive longer than you, so go for it.
I refuse to lose. Like, it's just not in me.
No, for sure. And the dark humor side of me would say to that, like, you think that you can outlast me? You should see the inside of my brain. Like, good luck.
Yeah.
No, I'm good, man. I'm like, it's like a blinking contest. I'm like, I don't need any, like, let's freaking go, because I will. Yes. That consistent determination, because I find once I get in the door, regardless of if I had a plan, if I'm feeling it or not, when I'm in the door and then I'm in the space, again, woo-woo, the energy, the space around you, once I'm there, I start. I just got to get there that day and just get in it. And get in the dream. Yep. Make it a place I want to be. Make it like this place for you, cozy, welcoming, reflective of myself and my energy, a place I want to be, an extension of personality. Yeah. And it's like it's like my very own clubhouse with my very own rules. Yeah, and we're all hanging out.
Yeah, I want a bigger clubhouse. I'm gonna build a bigger clubhouse.
I believe I believe you will quickly build a bigger clubhouse.
Yes. We're in the process of building a way bigger clubhouse than this. Yeah. Yeah. This still. We've been here a year and a half, right?
Already.
Yeah, a year and a half. Wow. Yeah, it feels like just yesterday, but we're already. We need more. We need more. I want to build more. But it's like, we're going there.
I believe that. And I know the feeling, and that's that scaling, man. Gotta get in that scaling. Yeah. See this, you definitely enjoy the clubhouse that you're in now, because one day, like, these are the good old days. That's how I feel about everything. Right, yeah. Like, it's cozy. It's the beginning, but it's not the beginning. It's actually one of your bridges. But there's something special about these days. They're what make the dream come true. This is like the grit and grace part of it. Yeah. And there's nothing better and worse as an entrepreneur than going into your brand new facility that you've dreamt of, built, sketched, made, spend one full day in there and say, shit, we're going to need a bigger boat. Like, you're just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Another puzzle.
Yeah. Another boat. Another idea.
That's the trauma, though. That's that good humor. That's the trauma.
It is.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. And you need the humor to survive some days.
Because if you don't
a lot
laugh,
of days.
I still cry, but I'd cry a lot more if I didn't laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. But yeah, like I just want to build just a fucking cool place. That's it. Just a place that people want to be.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Like this is a place I want to be. I built something around like, and again, this isn't all about me, right?
No,
but like,
entrepreneurship.
Yeah. But like what I built like is like what I want. I built an atmosphere that I want to be in. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah. And if you build it, they will come. Your people,
that's what they say.
Your people will find you.
Yes, 100%. That is so true. And again, like it's, I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing. Like this is my brain. Like, you know, like this building, like you look around, everything about this, like obviously there's, you know, things of other people I confuse too.
Yeah.
But it's still, you know, it's like this is my brain. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
it's so weird to think about people like these people are crazy. Like enough of this shit.
I know, like shut up.
No,
Nobody cares. Just go out and do it.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like, I think the only people that are going to be like, oh, you're weird and crazy are the people that like actually want to do this too, but don't have the guts or won't take the risk or won't try or give up too soon.
Yeah.
But like when you don't give up too soon, this is what you get.
There you go.
This is it.
And all I have to say to those people is mankind likes to project their emotions outward. So if you're experiencing fear around entrepreneurship, please don't put that onto me.
And kindly fuck off.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's the one right there.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm super grateful, you know, to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the pierogi, as always.
Yes.
Thank you for the personal delivery at home when we had Sophia.
I was humbled to be invited into your space.
Yeah.
And I loved spending time with you and Jess and baby Sophia.
Yeah.
It was
great.
really nice.
Yeah.
You need that. You need that, like, you need to keep it real, too.
Keep it real.
It is very real.
Yeah.
Being a dad of a new little baby.
Yeah.
2 babies now.
2. It's chaos.
I bet.
I love chaos.
I
love it and hate it.
Yeah.
I mostly thrive in it.
It's a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. I only get mad at it when I'm like, it's too much. And I'm like, wait a minute.
I asked for this.
Whose fault is this?
I dug this hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah. We made those babies.
Yeah. We decided we wanted many children.
Yeah. And the businesses and the buildings. And we did all that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. We have a lot.
Well, I feel you guys don't have pets, right?
No pets.
So I feel like there's always like one thing.
Yes.
Like I don't have the children.
But you got the pets.
Yet. I'm pet crazy.
Yeah. So it's like the same thing.
I'm pet crazy. And I have to give a shout out to my beloved Bogart because he got me through so much.
Yes.
I love him and his spirit. And, you know, my 13-year-old boy, he passed away last year. It's going to be a year.
R.I.P. to Bogart.
Bogey, he was the best boy. He was that companion.
He was a good boy.
He grew up that dog in your 20s. Like a lot of people mention, like as you're growing up through your 20s, you have that dog with you through the end of college.
He saw it all.
He saw it all.
He saw it all.
He was a good, loyal boy. He was always there and he was like unconditional love. But he, like having that stability. So now I have 2, you know, Bogart was such a dog. I ended up with 2 dogs now to
That's how
fill
it goes,
the void.
right? That's how it goes, yeah.
But no, it's really nice to, in my case, I like going home to that. That's like peace for me. But, you know, the conversations about children are happening. And Frank's like, you wanted the 2 dogs. And I was like, well, who's stopping us, right? We made our own business, make our own life. He's like, it's pretty full. And I was like, well, ask Bill and Jess how all those kids are.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Your house is so happy.
Yeah. Most days.
It is. And it's funny. And you were chefing and Jess and I got to catch up and
yeah,
it was nice.
Yeah. It's cool.
It is. The fact that you're a dad and Jess is a mom to 2 kids is like, whoa.
I don't know how I made it.
Right? And it's a lot of people do it and it's like, yeah, we had kids, but like being the parent, I'm assuming from over here, like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's another phase. It is. It's like legacy.
Yeah,
and it's
another chapter.
And you know how I love lineage, genealogy, ancestry.
That's right. Part 2.
If I don't end up having children of my own, I'm going to pull your children, I call myself a chachi, it's an aunt in Polish, all the children that I feel like pierogi godmotherly towards. And I'm going to instill, That's the other thing. Don't have kids for them to carry your legacy, by the way. I don't have kids. I can't speak on it. But if you think your kid, you're like, we built this. Nah, dude. They grow up. They're their own little people. I want to give it to my nephew. I'm like, oh, I'll give the business to my nephew. Oh, we'll give it to Sophia and Braden.
Yeah.
What if they grow up and they're like, fuck your pierogi, I like ravioli. And I'll be like, oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. So that's another thing too, because I'm like, we could have kids that pinch pierogi. He's like, do you really think they're gonna want to do your dream?
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's a great point. But I just it was a great time. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So where do people go to get the best pierogi?
Nanticoke, Pennsylvania. You pull up on Market Street. I mean, obviously the best pierogi is located there, but a lot of great small businesses. See us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Google. We're all over. But give us a call, text us 570-733-3191, and we'll be seeing you over there.
Yeah, and congrats on the new space.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, and I know, like, I'm gonna ramble again here for another minute, and we're gonna end it. But like, it is just really cool to have somebody like you back on. Like, again, we're 3 years ago to now, like, be sitting here today and to, like, you know, just catch up and like see like where we both like got to.
I love it.
It's like I almost can't even like comprehend it. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
the
like,
feeling's very mutual.
Yeah.
I'm very excited and I'm very inspired by it because like you said, when we both started only a few mere years ago.
Yeah.
Like when we met, like when we became colleagues and friends years ago, like this wasn't, I mean, I would never, like I would assume you'd be doing your career, I'd be doing my career, and
but there'd be no crossover, but like, look where we're at.
Right. And then you're visiting me at the pierogi shop and we're having like a flashback moment of another time.
Crazy.
We sat in an office and there were beanbag chairs and we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It all comes full circle.
It was excellent. And it all starts and ends in Nanticoke though. That's the full circle.
Oh, is it? Okay.
All day, every day.
Nanticoke it is.
Nanticoke, Pennsylvania. The place for the best cultural food of your ancestors and community. I just made that up.
That sounded pretty good.
I chat GPT'd it in my own brain.
Did you practice it?
It can do that.
Yeah.
It can. It just says stuff.
Sometimes.
The marketing stuff, it's like always on, you know?
Yeah, right.
But when this mic goes off and the show is over, I am going to be spent.
You'll be sleeping.
I'll go nap in the client
I got
lobby.
the blankets in there for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, not really, Lauren. This was awesome. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
For the chance.
Yep.
It's great.
Lauren Gorney on the Stacks podcast in the Blue Door Studio. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
If you want to see more On The Stacks content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/onthestackspodcast or search the hashtag OnTheStacks on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.